In today's video, I'll be heading out to hunt some public land on the Oregon coast with one of my good friends, Eric. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Noah, and it's because usually I'm behind the camera. But I have a couple days in between trips, and it's still September, so I'm gonna go elk hunting. I have an over-the-counter tag for our area, and there's not a lot of season left.
If I look tired, it's because I am.
My buddy Eric also has a tag and has never killed an elk before. He moved to the Pacific Northwest from Pennsylvania only a few years ago and has been hunting hard learning the ropes of elk hunting. He's whitetail hunting his whole life and is definitely no stranger to killing, but today we're going to try to get him his first elk. We only have a day before I have to take off for our next trip, so we're going to go check out a bunch of BLM ground intermix of timber properties that neither of us have ever been to before. We're going to cover ground until we find a bugle. So in this video, I'm going to be over Eric's shoulder, calling and trying to film at the same time and still tell a good story for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to put together. We were looking at OnX on some area we wanted to check out, and the first thing we did is we pulled up to this clear cut at the head of this big basin that just looked like it had a lot of elk age timber and plenty of water and feed.
Yes, we just pulled up to this first unit, and I just cow called on the left triangle probably 5 or 6 times, and we heard one cow. We heard some sticks popping. There's some old second growth that's been like pre-commercial thinned up back behind the unit. And we could hear them back there, so it's way too early. I've never actually elk hunted before daylight before, but we're here, and we're gonna have to wait like 30 minutes just for it to get shooting light because he wanted to wake up.
I've never not heard. Noah only complains. That's his only mood ever.
I only complain. It's gonna be a really easy pack out though. So we're gonna get up here in the timber before it gets light, because it's still dark, if I haven't mentioned that before, and see where these elk go, and see if we can get them in. Alright guys, just took the September read, and we just looked on OnX everywhere. After that cow call, we didn't hear anything else. My guess was that they moved off into the timber somewhere. Along this big side hill basin. So we've just been checking off spots, road bugling obviously, and I just got a bull to go from here. Real long, good bugle. It's super dense. It sounds like he's on the bottom, maybe only, I don't know, 400 yards, so we're gonna get packed up, try to go kill him. Eric killed a ton of whitetail, guy from over east, never killed an elk before. Leave a comment below, wish him good luck, tell him not to mess up. We're gonna go kill a bull. So we're just gonna walk in from here. We're gonna try to get about 200 yards closer, locate again, but it's just me and Eric today, so I'm calling and filming and he's shooting, so it's not gonna be my best work. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. There's gonna be some times where I lean heavily on the GoPro, but with that said, if you're watching this video, that means it was a good hunt, so keep watching. Sounded like he was up this way, didn't it? Really?
Pretty certain.
It's not far. Okay. Get a reed in your mouth.
To me, it sounded straight up there.
Yeah, it probably was. It sounded like it echoed behind us.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get 100 yards up here. Try again.
Although he's responding every time and seemingly fired up, I want to play this very patiently, knowing the wind is finicky and this thick draw, and it may very well be our only chance. So we do our first setup about 250 yards away rather than pushing in tight.
Like terrain breaks here. We'll go up till we find like a corner or a break in the topography. That's within striking distance, right? So like that 30 to 40 yards. So if they crest that, we have a shot. But we don't want to set up anywhere like here where you have a long alley with a lot to go wrong in between.
tree on the dot. There's a cat road that circles up around the other side and one that goes up this side.
It sounded like he's right up this drainage.
Yeah, he sounded higher than us too, I would say.
After our first setup at about 250 yards and the bull not budging, we only moved up probably another 120 yards. And at this point, the bull is straight uphill through a bunch of thick stuff, and honestly not really expecting him to come in. But we just want to slowly work our way in, working him up, so that we don't just come in right on top of him screaming.
Get ready. This bull's chuckling at like 120. He just cut off my cow calls.
Hope you like elk meat.
Right now this bull is like 120, 130 yards directly up the hill. And this stuff, if you don't have like a terrain advantage, you can only shoot 10 yards. This road goes up around and right to him. Honestly, I think he's on the road. And this bull right now, I think he's trying to decide if he wants to come down the hill straight towards us or walk this road. So we'll give it like 5 more minutes here. He's responding every time. He's cutting off cow calls with a bugle. But if he doesn't budge, he's chuckling right now. If he doesn't budge, then we'll make another move on him. But he wants to come in. Sounded further away that time.
I think he just went 20 yards up the hill, probably. Let's get down. Let's get on his level.
Perfect. He's further that way for sure.
He's just around the horn.
Yeah. Going off of that side.
Perfect. Like anytime we stop to sound check when we're on a bull, just get somewhere that is remotely safe. So like right in front of that fern patch, you can shoot 40 to that corner. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna hear him
raking right there.
At this point, the bull is about 6 yards away, just around the corner, raking and standing his ground. Once he bugles and chuckles, I know it's a gamble, but I decide to chuckle right on top of him, knowing he will either come in right then or bump off.
As soon as you see anything draw.
Obviously, he bumped off. He went down the hill probably about 125 yards. But why this is important and kind of a cool learning experience is just because a bull bumps does not mean he's spooked. And there's a big difference there. He bumped off because he thought we were another bull or other elk in his bubble, and he wasn't quite ready to commit at this point. This is important because this means this bull is still callable. Although he bumped off at that threat, we know that we can kind of change our tactics a little bit and probably still call him in.
He was close that one time.
He was close.
He sounded like he was just around this corner up here. When he chuckled, it felt like 40 yards. I don't know.
He was just over the berm raking.
Shake.
Right where we thought he was going to be.
I was already shaking a little bit.
We'll get him.
So he moved up 60 yards to where the bull was last raking from. This is where he's been at all morning, pretty much standing on this ground. This is something that I've really picked up on from Trent. If you can get to the last spot that bull is comfortable at, a lot of times they'll feel comfortable returning right to it.
Under 100, I bet. I see him raking.
See him raking?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to rake. You stay there. Just signal me if he's coming or doing anything, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna drop like 10 yards behind you.
shadowy stuff down there. I can see him raking again.
Okay, let's move. If you guys need to make moves on a bull, the absolute best time is when they're raking. They can't see, they can't hear very good, even if they're facing you. That's a perfect time to get coverage, whether you can see it or hear it. That's their absolute best time to move. This bull's raking at like 120, and our wind's pushing side hill to the left. And so we're gonna get down in this draw and get right up above him. Try to get within 100 yards. I think we can kill him. Let's get to right there and try that little clover patch. We will shoot all the way down this gully. But the sunlight's hitting this little draw, so I don't know what the wind's gonna do. Yeah, 10 yards in that clover patch. That way we can see his reaction. that. I see him.
Is he coming?
He's raking, but he's closer.
How far was he when you saw him?
You can still see him. I don't know. In between here and there. He's just standing behind a tree. I think he's alone. Yeah, he's moving up to the right. Just get up to the right, get in front of that fern.
He's coming this way.
Take your time.
He's going right. He's raking.
He's raking. Is he still raking?
Walking right.
Okay.
He's raking on the way.
I see him.
Behind the tree right now.
He's coming our way. Draw.
Too far to thread the needle.
Okay, that's all good. If he goes behind a tree, lie down. Okay, get ready.
At this point, the bull is about 30 yards and Eric is to my left with the tree in the way. Once the bull gets ready to walk out again, I'm going to tell him to draw. Since I can see the bull perfectly, but he can't see it at all, we can kind of use this to our advantage and time your draws.
Easy, easy, easy. I'll tell you when to draw. shot?
Let's walk forward.
Okay. His head's down. Where'd you hit him?
I don't think I hit him.
He was right behind a fern for me, so I couldn't. He walked right out of view. It's all good. It's all good.
Awful.
It's all good.
I definitely think it was a low shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been further than we think. I don't know.
That was bad call.
It's all good. Was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Raised his head up, staring right at me.
that makes it hard.
I should have just drawn.
Where did it look like it went?
If anything, it would have been on more of his left.
Well,
Like left of center. But it might have been like too low.
yeah. Hopefully he's dead, or you missed him when you heard it.
I hope my eyes were lying to me when I watched the video.
Alright guys, the only time that I did not have that elk like in full frame is right when Eric shot. He's right behind this fern, he went behind this hill, and we were just talking about it, like in your setups, like the bull's either going to choose the wind or the high ground, it seems like, and I thought he was going to play the wind, come down to our left right here for like a 20-yard broadside shot. He favored right to get the high ground, and again, I'm sorry I didn't get it, it was right behind that fern, but we can't tell. He either hit a tree or he hit the elk. So we're going to go find out which one and just play it out. If you thought that call-in was pretty sweet, please, 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 guys, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. That's the only reason we get to do stuff like this during the entire month of September. So please, guys, please subscribe if you liked that footage. We're on BLM right now. What BLM stands for, if you don't know, is Bureau of Land Management. What that means is this is public land. This is a spot that both of us have literally never been to. We came here, we bugled our way in, we got this bull to go. We came in here, we worked him for 2 hours, got him to come in. So whether or not this ends up in a kill, guys, just get out there and do it. This is Roosevelt hunting. This is in a spot we've never been. Anybody can go and do this, guys. And Eric is a whitetail guy. He moved out here from Pennsylvania, which is where I met him, and he's never killed an elk before. So it's been really cool to take someone who's an established whitetail hunter, good at what they do, take them to the elk woods, kind of show them our domain. So pray for us, guys. Alright guys, we're not entirely sure if he hit him or not. It's so thick we couldn't exactly see. I didn't have the perfect angle, but we have some heavy tracks going downhill and have some footage where he crossed, so we're just gonna follow it out and see what happens. So obviously what we're praying for is, if he didn't hit it fatally, that he didn't hit it at all, and that elk can keep doing its thing and we can keep hunting. So we're just gonna play it out. Alright guys, well, we looked and looked and looked, and we could never find arrow or anything, so we cut his tracks going side hill for, I don't know, probably 300 yards up until he hit this road here, and nothing, no blood. It was pretty kind of open sky back behind him since we were shooting downhill, and never could find anything that indicates anything. So it's one of those where it's a tough one to take. But if you've been hunting long enough and shot at enough stuff, it's gonna happen. So it's hard because we don't want it to taint the pretty like awesome experience we had this morning, getting to see that bull in here and bugle as much as he did and come in like he did. But regardless, I know we both learned today and how we could have set up differently to seal the deal. I know for me, like, I've called a decent amount and I've obviously filmed a decent amount, but doing them at the exact same time, whole new ball game. So multitasking, I can't get behind the shooter, and so I think on our setup, I could have gone quiet probably 5 minutes sooner, and I picked in between because I figured he's either going to go to our right to get the uphill advantage or he's going to go to our left to get the wind, and usually they'll pick the wind, but he didn't. He picked the right, got the uphill advantage, and we weren't really set for that. So we learned it wasn't the optimal setup to get him killed with basically, solo or self-calling. So it is what it is, but we'll be back. There's other elk in the area, and there's a lot of season yet. So if you guys have been enjoying this Land of the Free series, please subscribe. It's how we keep our lights on, and it's what allows us to do this all season, every season, and bring you guys free content. So, or on average, like 80 to 70% of our viewers aren't subscribed, who watch our videos every week. So you're already watching them, please just subscribe. I'll put a link right here, and it helps us out a ton. Thanks, guys.